Guys, it's 7 o'clock. I don't know where you are. I'm on time for once. Guys? Guys? Are we... That's Michael's jacket. Okay. Guess I'll get ready since they're slacking. You over here behind the Angry Bird? No? In here maybe? They're outside, I don't know. Guess I'll start the show by myself. Oh!
George Lucas!
Oh! Oh! Why are you doing this to me? Why? Checking my emails.
Oh, you started
Just
recording?
kidding.
Yeah, I mean, it's recording.
Cold open, just like usual. I don't know what that was. Just in case I need to fact check anything.
That's actually a good idea.
Because inevitably I'm going to bring up the like opening weekend money.
I can't wait. Did anyone? I didn't read the Rotten Tomatoes.
54%.
Right now.
Yeah. And the
Is that audience?
What, wait,
That's
what
audience.
was the story that Disney was before
Disney
this?
was claiming that
Disney themselves were actually claiming this? Or like,
I saw
yeah.
the article that Super Bro Movies put out. It was like bots were putting in negative reviews,
That makes
which is
me-
kind of what you were talking about.
Yeah, but it seems completely opposite to everything I found. That all the accounts I couldn't trace were the ones that had 5 stars. Like all the 1-star reviews, I could go straight to their shit. I didn't read the article because I was so pissed when you sent it to me. I was just like, no. These guys.
Yeah.
The same site that said that is the same site that put me as the dark side.
I saw
And
that.
the fucking
That was comic book movies.
oh, was it
I
comic book?
unfollowed
Oh,
them
okay.
so long ago. I hate their trash.
Let's kick their asses.
Trash. All right.
Wait, hold on. Stop popping up now.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a list of Star Wars movies that I liked from least to best or
So
best.
you just want
to
to rank
least.
them all?
Yeah, because they actually did them on the red carpet. And like all the little pains, and that's another thing. I'm getting tired of like actors not taking like a stand. Like if you don't enjoy something, just say you don't enjoy it.
It's like Affleck with
Yeah,
Batman right
quit
now.
pussyfooting around.
It's like shit or get off the pot at this point.
The only person that actually gave their true 9 thing is the actor Dustin from Stranger Things. He was in the red carpet, and he was the only honest one.
Was that after the movie or before the movie?
It was the premiere.
Ooh.
So I think going into it, because I don't think he had the Last Jedi on there.
Ooh.
I can't really find it.
What are you looking for?
The bot thing.
Oh. I retweeted it. It should be on mine. I have a scratch on my screen. Are you kidding me right now? Hello, everyone, and welcome to
Cleaning my eye.
2 minutes in.
to our spoiler-filled review / exploration of Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
That made me uncomfortable.
What? The farting noises? So yeah, we're just gonna dive in. First off, we did the sketch. Hopefully, before this, you'll see it before we're talking now. For a reason.
Or if you just skipped.
Yeah,
You're just
if
like,
you skipped, you need to go back and watch it because
Let's scroll.
it's comedy gold.
Yeah, we put some effort into that.
Yeah, like all 10 minutes. Yeah. I'm the only one who likes this movie. I don't like it. I love it.
I'm the only person ever.
In the world.
I'm just kidding.
I'm not the only person. I do know that For a fact.
My dad likes
You're the only person not paid by Disney that enjoys
My
it.
dad's paid by Disney.
Yeah, your dad might be
Pay
paid.
me, Disney.
Yeah.
The other thing that Disney owns now.
Yeah, honest to God, yeah. What else don't
They
they
own
have?
everything else.
And I'm not even a big Disney hater, but this movie was a cash grab, and this movie was spitting in the face of all the original, all the original Star Wars movies and the prequels, which I cannot wait to jump into the comments I've been getting about that one tweet I put out and just tear you guys apart about the prequels because it's the most ridiculous thing ever. I'll just say this. The biggest thing I've heard is, let George Lucas handle the franchise again, then you get the prequels. And well, yeah, idiots, you get the prequels, but you also get Star Wars because George Lucas made and created Star Wars. So if you don't want him a part of it, then find another franchise.
Can you do like the last episode where you were like calling Rotten Tomatoes
Rotten Tomatoes garbage or something?
Can you do like
Trash.
Last Jedi? Trash. It's
Trash, garbage.
It's a trash movie.
I mean, I enjoyed it.
You called it garbage. You called it garbage.
It was
Verbatim.
garbage. It was garbage. It was garbage.
Danny, like, you gotta turn it and be like, it's trash. It's a trash movie. Tanner will cut it. He'll edit it.
I don't know if I'll be able to now since my computer crashed. So, unless I could probably download the YouTube file, but that would take more time. Sorry, life happens. I think it's a hard drive issue, but oh well.
Does everyone want to go around and give like a brief overview of just their feelings on it, and then we can get like deeper into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's start with Tanner.
Okay. So there were a lot of moments where my jaw was open, and I was like, literally gasping. Like, again, spoiler filled, when the ion torpedoes hits the ship that Leia is in, and she gets sucked out into space. That was one of them.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
I
scene.
cannot wait for this.
Yeah.
This is gonna be great.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense. Yeah.
Snoke getting cut in half.
There you go.
There's
Most hyped up
reasons.
villain for nothing. Yeah.
Put a pin in that. We'll come back to it. I think Canto Bite was irrelevant to the story, other than the fact that we see where the TIE fighters and X-Wings and guns are coming from.
Much like, who cares? So.
And the kid at the end who, like, force pulls the...
Did you get the chance to watch it twice?
Yeah, I did.
So you did notice
Yeah, I
it the
did.
second
I saw it
time?
the second time. I was like, holy shit, I didn't see that. It's Star Wars, man. That's it hits me. This movie hit me.
Okay.
I mean, it didn't like tell you what to feel, but like I got it. Unlike The Force Awakens, where it's like in your face, like you should feel this way, because the music's swelling and the music, like the scene is pointing in this direction. The characters are saying this. This movie's kind of like more up in the air, but like I think it hit me the way that they wanted it to hit general audiences.
Okay.
They're with 7. Okay, so first off, Tanner likes it, if you couldn't tell.
Yes.
With 7, like, everyone's pumped. It's like Star Wars has been around. You know, it's back. And yeah, it was kind of like A New Hope, but there were still so many like big things in it. Like the very first like scene, it's like Kylo. It's like you meet him, and you know, badass. Like he's just like you know, he does all that stuff, and then you know, you meet Rey. The central focus of that movie, you know, is really Rey. Like you know, there's Kylo and all these other characters, but like Rey is it. And then there's Poe, like that scene at Maz. That's who
Maz's pub.
Yeah. Like where he's coming in. That's awesome. Han, you know, dying. Big moment. And then there's the question of who is her parents. So you get to this movie, and I was a million more times excited for this movie than I was Justice League. And I was so pumped for Justice League, but Star Wars, I was like, we're gonna find out everything. Like,
Because like Star Wars is one of those franchises where like at this point in the game, like it's gonna hit, it's gonna be huge,
but
for the most part.
Oh,
at least,
I think
at
so.
least you think so. Like
I can
anticipating.
But after the movie, I walked out. I went to watch it with Tanner and his girlfriend. Well, not just me.
Our girlfriend.
Blake. Blake just looked at me. She's like, "Did you like it?" And I was just like, "I don't know. Like I was like so
It
disappointed.
was very like overwhelming,
was-
but to me it was a good feeling of overwhelmness.
I was disappointed for these reasons. One, Snoke. I'll leave that. You know,
We need to talk about Snoke.
Snoke.
I have a theory.
Okay, there's
Not
Snoke,
really a theory, but an idea.
Leia with you know, we all kind of thought like she, you know, had the Force or was Force sensitive, but like for her to be blasted through space, and then all of a sudden it's just like
I have a theory for that too.
Like that was the cheesiest moment I've ever seen in Star Wars, and you know, Attack of the Clones
I think
was
it's some
pretty.
cheesier. The prequels are cheesier than that.
No,
Sorry.
not than that moment. No,
Sorry.
no. There's that. Really, to me, there was like no focus of the movie. It was just like this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and it was just like it was like what was the point of it? Like I didn't. There were, you know, there were good parts of it. Like I like, you know, Rey and Kylo when they were fighting alongside each other. I thought that was cool because I thought that was interesting. It's like what if, you know, they actually are like, you know, she turns to the dark side or he turns, you know, he's redeemed and he's fighting. But then they kind of just the decision making to me with that, like it was just like it was disappointing. What they did with Luke was disappointing. Rose, and like who cares?
That's the one part of the movie I didn't like. Rose was awful.
I don't like Rose. Like there were a few things I did like about this movie. Like it's not like the worst movie I've ever seen. Like it's just meh. Like I watched it and I'm like, that's not Star Wars. Like it was just like Like to me, the only movie that I don't like more like that I think is worse than this one is Attack of the Clones. And the only reason I think Attack of the Clones was like that was just CGI and like a whole bunch of other stuff. But even like, just this movie was so like disappointing for me. Like I thought it was gonna be more and it wasn't.
Here we go.
Well, no, I'm gonna start off by saying I love Star Wars. I can't remember the last time I didn't enjoy something Star Wars. I went into this movie literally the most excited I've ever been for a movie in my entire life. And to say, like, all the hate saying, like, oh, blah, 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 you're not a Star Wars fan, you know, you just like the prequels, blah, blah. I have a poster of The Force Awakens literally right by my desk as you walk in. The acting in this movie was incredible. Every actor in this movie was great. Every single actor played their part, did an awesome job at their part, whatever it was. Whether I liked your character or not, you played an awesome job. The Praetorian Guard scene, Rey and Kylo fighting, probably one of the top. I don't want to include the Clone Wars. And just real life movies, live action movies, I would go top 3 fight scenes in the Star Wars.
It might be top 1 in my book, honestly. Number 2 is probably in Empire, when it's just Luke and Vader's silhouette, and then you just see the blades ignite, and then it's just blades on silhouettes. It's pretty
Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith have something to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just,
is that the one where they're like flipping it?
Oh yeah, that's
like the
that's
GIF.
like a Jedi,
GIF.
like a
That's
Jedi's supposed to be. Yeah.
That's like a 10-minute scene too.
Yeah, it was the longest sword fight I
just
think
them
in
flipping
cinematic
swords.
history.
Yeah.
So what else did I enjoy in that movie? I think Carrie Fisher's character was given a lot of just. I think she was made a strong female character lead, like she has been in every movie she's been in the Star Wars franchise. What else did I enjoy? I didn't hate the casino scene as much as everyone else. I like seeing alien species. And then that's it. You got it. You got everything else in that movie wrong. Everything else in that movie wrong.
So you don't even like the opening sequence?
Oh no,
like
I take that back.
Poe flying through with
I
X-Wing?
apologize. I liked the opening sequence, and I liked that the main focus of the movie wasn't trying to blow up a sphere of some sort.
Yeah.
I think that was incredible.
They brought it back in with the battering ram cannon.
Okay,
Oh, great.
Okay, I guess they
Miniature
kind of.
Death Star technology.
I guess they kind of did. Yeah, Jesus, I guess they did. But
This world revolves around spherical weapons.
Yeah.
Most of this movie happened, they were just escaping because they were running out of fuel. Whenever in Star Wars is a fuel an issue, like I don't remember. Like I know it's necessary, like they need to have fuel and stuff like that, but like them just escaping, like because they're out of gas.
I think this whole movie, in some parts, was specifically made for character development, more so than others.
There's no character development in this movie.
I think Poe developed as a leader.
Poe and Kylo.
Poe realized, like Leia said, you can't hop in an X-Wing and blow something up every time you want to go and do something.
Well, I wouldn't say... I would also say Finn.
I was going to say Finn until Rose.
Yeah, she undoes that.
On Crate, yeah.
And then... What did Rey do? Rey didn't do anything.
What happened to the strong-driven character Rey was in the first film, and now she's completely
like, help me,
that, and then
help
she's
me, Luke Skywalker.
She's so torn, like emotionally. What happened to Kylo just killing Han? That was literally this movie is literally directly after The Force Awakens. Yeah, so what happened to that Rey? She starts trying to think that she's like the savior. When did she ever become the savior that she never wanted to be in the first one? It never happened. That character development is trash. Daisy Ridley is an incredible actress, which is being hindered by incredibly shitty-ass writing in the Star Wars universe. Disney is destroying that character.
Would you call it Disney or would you call it Rian Johnson? In the script room.
Is this inherently a script when I say Disney, whoever they hire...
Kathleen Kennedy?
It's on them.
It's a script.
It's a script. It was written
Bob
so
Iger.
poorly.
Well, it's the whole...
Yeah,
it's everyone. It's everyone
director,
involved.
Scriptwriter, all of it. Like,
they've made the most boring character in the Star Wars universe, and it's your lead outside of your co-lead.
I think
she's the most dull character now in this movie.
I don't think this movie it was specifically meant to focus on Rey.
Oh no, I
think
agree.
This movie was to.
But the problem
there's dual protagonists, Kylo and Rey.
Everyone has a story in this.
But the problem is
everyone has a story in the world except for the people that are in the original movies, and then they're just trash now.
I don't think they're trash either.
Who's going to end up facing Kylo?
Rey.
So the only options you have. So after the Snoke death,
they kind of ripped themselves into a corner.
Yeah, there's no choice after that.
But after they did that, like this, no character development. It's like Kylo. He's even angrier now than.
I think Kylo had a lot of character development, specifically when he killed.
But Rey doesn't.
Snoke.
It's like I'll use wrestling for you. Like Hulk Hogan's a bad guy. He's beating everyone up. He's Hulk Hogan, and then some really good guy comes in, and then he loses 3 matches in a row, and it's like, well, now he's facing Hulk Hogan for the title, and it's like, he just took a step back. Like, Rey took... Sorry, I was wrestling. Like, that's how I'm thinking of it, but, like, she took 2 steps back in this movie. Like, my big thing coming into this movie was, who are her parents? Like, what's going to happen to Rey? And then it was like, and it might be a lie, it might be a swerve.
I think it is. I think there is more to that. But
still, to say... that's going to be answered in this movie, and it's like they're just junkers, and it's like that just drives me nuts. Like, don't tease that, and it's like, oh well, nothing.
I don't hate that as much. Like, I can understand that they want to get away from the Skywalker bloodline. Excuse me.
Even if it's not that, but like they were building it up to be like someone we heard everything from Obi-Wan to Palpatine. To like just other people that we've seen in movies, and they're just like
they don't want anything to do with the previous 6 movies, with trilogy movies. They want to get all those out of the way. That's what they're doing to the characters right now. They're diminishing those previous characters to get rid of them instantly. And I saw you tweet something about there's new Nub fans or
nine Nub fans.
Yeah, and there might be, but I'll tell you what, there are Admiral Ackbar fans, and Admiral Ackbar
I think
got
at this point
punked
in the game,
like a little punk, like it's like punked by a little punk.
He's a meme at this point. I think he's a meme at this point.
I like that.
Unless you're you and have just this extensive knowledge of everything else. What do you know Ackbar from?
Ackbar in the Clone Wars series, which you're now watching.
Yeah,
Rogue One and New Hope, Empire, and Return.
In the Clone Wars series, he was
then he's not
had
like
his own story
part.
Oh yeah, he was. He was. He was on Mon Calamar. He was a huge part. He was a general on that planet. Saved the king of that planet from a civil war on that planet. Was one of the top reigning generals in every aspect on his own planet. And when he joined the Galactic Wars, he was always a main focal point. He was one of like the highest sought after military strategists in like the universe. Like, he's a huge character that is given immense respect. It's crazy. I'm arguing about Admiral Ackbar, but he's getting so
you'll only find it here on the Distant Taco Show.
Yeah, he's getting like so much immense respect in the universe, and then he just dies. Like, you know what? And then they tried to. This is okay. I guess him dying isn't my issue. Them replacing him with the Holdo character.
Holdo was leaked too.
Which is nothing. You want me to care about this character that I've known for 45 minutes? Why should I care about that character?
Apparently, she is Leia's best friend from when Leia was a child.
But who cares?
Who cares?
It was from her own. It was from Leia's book called Leia.
So,
but
okay,
that's all I know.
Best-selling book.
I thought she was like a mole for the First Order.
I liked her.
Like, how else are they tracking the ship? And then they.
If what they should have done was when that torpedo hit the deck of the starship, Ackbar could have died, fine. Leia should have died right there. You want me to care about Holdo? Let her take over the Resistance then. Mm-hmm. That's how you strengthen that character. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't make me sit there, oh, Leia's back now. Oh, Leia's done Poe. Oh, Holdo's gonna...
They made us care about her for a few minutes and killed her off.
But I couldn't even form a connection. It was so quick. You know what I mean? That's like meeting a girl and marrying her the same day. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee there's 500 people out there like, well, that's what I do with my wife. But it doesn't make sense. You could have put Ackbar in her spot, or you could have, even better, gave Carrie Fisher's Leia character a more resonating passing in the Star Wars franchise by having her take the place of Holdo and her drive the ship through the dreadnought.
I think that would be a cool wrap up to her arc.
Yeah,
I think that would have been cool.
So what are they going to do now that she's passed away?
They said they weren't going to.
I feel like.
So there has to be a time skip.
I think the only thing they can do is a time skip.
So your next movie's gonna come up.
Open up on
Leia's dead.
On Leia's funeral.
I don't want to make light of that in real life because the actress is dead, but the character. So Leia Organa passed away, and then what? Yeah. Nothing. So that's doing her justice in what way? No. Absolutely nothing.
It drives me nuts because you're killing off all these characters, and they confirm they're gonna do another trilogy with new characters. Mm-hmm. Why not just keep it going? People the Skywalker. That's why Kylo is such an interesting character. Is Vader's grandson.
They're trying to fix something that isn't broken. Yeah. And I don't want every movie to be the same. I can understand that completely, and I love that they took risks, and I think that's huge. It
doesn't make any sense with the prequels. The focus is Anakin and his turning to Vader, and then the 3 movies it's Luke and he's finds out Vader is his father, and then these 3 it's what it's almost like when you put them together and you start 1 through 9, it's not going to make any sense if you kill off. I understand, time's moving on, they're getting older, so they would die, in the movies and real life. But, that, it just doesn't make any sense to me, why they would do that.
I said this to Tanner earlier, it proved me wrong. Everyone out there in the internet proved me wrong. The first 6 movies don't matter. No. In the least. Nothing from those movies resonate. There's nothing... The Emperor was nothing. The Clone Wars were nothing. You're at this point now where, all that history was for naught, because what's it done? You have the First Order, which is the Empire. You have the Resistance, which is the Rebellion. So Anakin wasn't the chosen one. Luke wasn't the chosen one. There's no balance to the Force, which they were supposed to bring. Then what were the points of those movies? If you want to do a trilogy and you wanted just to say forget the past, then you should have just made The Force Awakens. You should have just done it you should have done it then. Just do it then. Don't even try to give these characters a send off if you're not going to give them the correct send off.
I don't think there is a chosen one.
There's so many cool characters.
I think the Force is just... It's all-encompassing, like when Rey was, meditating on the rock, and, death and life, death bringing more life, that kind of space in between is the Force.
That's a balance. That's the balance of the Force, which, that's what the whole original... sequel or
it's yin and yang. You can't have one without the other.
Well, exactly. But that was the whole point of Luke destroying, not Vader, but Palpatine originally, because he brought balance to the Force. Because prior to that, the dark side had overwhelmed the light side of the Force. So there's that balance, and you could even argue in the prequels that the light side of the Force had become too powerful and even corrupted. So they needed balance.
They got a little arrogant.
Yeah. So, but and another thing, if we're talking about Rey meditating. Why did Luke even make the statement? Oh, you went to that dark place. You went to the dark side. You didn't even try stopping.
I think it scared him because he saw that.
He saw it, but she never touched on it again. What did she do that was even?
She didn't even think about not going.
Oh no, exactly. But what besides that would ever lead you to think she ever has any drawing to the dark side? So you just have that one thing, and then it's over with. And another plot hole in this movie is the Knights of Ren. Are a huge plot hole unless the flashback wasn't the destruction of the Jedi Academy on Yavin 4. Because in The Force Awakens, if I'm wrong, whatever, it showed the Knights of Ren with the dead bodies around them in the rain, and I was led to believe that was the Jedi Academy.
Yeah.
So
I think it might be. That might be a jump from the Academy.
But no, because Ben supposedly brought the hut down on Luke then, but he had the Knights of Ren gear then.
And he had his new red lightsaber.
No, he stopped the blade with a green lightsaber. Or blue lightsaber, excuse me. And
but in The Force Awakens, he had the red lightsaber with the Kylo Ren helmet.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's a time skip.
But it's impossible for it to be a time skip, because whenever Luke woke up, it was what? An hour later? So he didn't go suit up, new lightsaber, new crew, and destroyed in the time that it took Luke to get out of that hut? Is that what we're saying? Like, it happened within that window, he became Kylo Ren, and all the knights joined him, and this all happened, and that's
the problem with Snoke dying, too, because we don't know how Kylo got turned to the dark side. We don't know, like, anything that led up to that, so it was just that on top of that.
And then, okay, yeah, and another thing I'll just tear apart about this movie. People are giving me crap for saying that...
Yeah, bullies.
Yeah, for saying that, like...
You are bullies.
Snoke is a weak character, and we don't know anything of the backstory. They're like, well, what'd you know about, the Emperor's backstory at the beginning, blah, 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 blah. You're right. I'm not saying I want to know, when he was born, who his mom was, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm saying, like...
His girlfriend
for real. What was his goal? Was his goal to destroy Luke Skywalker, or was his goal to control the galaxy?
Because I think it was both. He said both. Like, when he had Rey down kneeling in front of Kylo, he was like, we're going to find where Luke is, and then after we deal with the rebellion, or the resistance, then we're going to go give Luke the death he deserves.
So what was his animosity towards Luke? And he's obviously an older character, age-wise, so where was he...
But, where's the connection?
Yeah. And you're telling me...
Because he's not all-powerful, because if he's older, then he would have been alive during Palpatine and Vader.
There's 0% chance, because he looks up to... It seems to me that Snoke looks up to Vader and Palpatine. He looks like they're the essence of what... There's 0% chance that Palpatine would have let someone that strong survive. Because he killed... Spoilers, watch the Clone Wars. I guess I don't want to spoil it for you too. But
he kills Plagueis.
Well, no, he kills Plagueis, but he also... Jeez, I really... Cover your ears if you don't want him to spoil it. He kills Savage Opress, and he stops Darth Maul from becoming too powerful again. Because the two... I don't know
why I already knew that.
The two Dathmiri and Zabrak brothers had become too powerful. He sensed it. He snuffed them out. Like, you're telling me Snoke was just sitting there, crawling through the Empire, playing it cool the whole time. He didn't sense them. He didn't try snuffing them out. And then how did Snoke gain... Dude, I'm rambling. But how did Snoke gain control of the First Empire? Of the First Empire. What the hell is it even called? First Order. See, I don't even care anymore. What? How did he gain...
I care!
Like, did he just come out there and be like, okay, I'm Snoke. I'm not as strong as the Emperor, but we're all listening to me now. You know what I mean?
I think he gathered his following, you know what I mean? He pulled Hux,
But Hux didn't even exist. Hux is young. So Hux was a baby?
I mean, Hux and Kylo are probably the same age, or around the same age, right?
Hux, by the way.
Hux,
I actually
Hux.
like the actor.
Hux is a punching bag at this point.
Oh my gosh,
whatever.
His character, it's pointless. Like, it's not...
Dude, I just...
And Phasma.
Phasma got punked again.
She's the Boba Fett.
She got less respect than Boba Fett did. Like, there's
equality.
There's nothing, and it doesn't end services. You don't get to see her. I guess.
What if she's not dead?
I remember hearing
her armor.
I remember hearing before the movie that they were going to do her justice in this movie, and they did not. Like, whoever said that,
she popped up when they were on the Dreadnought, and that's kind of it.
She got beat up by a janitor stormtrooper.
Yep.
And no disrespect to Finn's character, but he was a janitor. He kept saying it a million times. He was a janitor when he was with the First Order, and obviously he somehow...
He said it again in this movie.
He somehow gained the ability to be this hard-pressed captain in the Imperial Army. And man, then Captain Phasma is another cash grab. What a cash grab. The only ones that turned out to not be a cash grab because all the merchandise they put out were the Praetorian Guards. Porgs, huge cash grab. Get them out of my face.
I like porgs.
The First Order Executioners, which the Black Series they made
Is that the one with the black stripes on
black
the
stripes?
Those are dope. Those are dope.
How do you even know they're dope?
They look dope. I'm sorry. I'm a sucker for visuals.
I mean, you get to see him, but then they're like nothing. I don't even see him die. Did you see him die?
No.
Oh yeah, what the hell?
I don't care. They were there and they were awesome.
In spirit, they were there, I guess, but like, is just such a cash grab. BB-8 is a cash grab. I mean, cheesy cow. Rose is a terrible cash grab.
I like BB-8.
BB-8, I guess I can understand BB-8 because he's posed right, and not every droid can be R2.
Was the cash grab.
Oh god, yeah! And when did all droids become the circles with the head on the top? What were they like? R2,
I think that's just the
R5
BB unit series, probably.
Whatever, man. I
needed more C-3PO.
They were so mean.
They were
C-3PO. His depressing
really
and negative nature.
Anthony Daniels, get out of there, man. I wish you would have slapped Poe. Oh, Poe.
Your odds of getting slapped are.
How hilarious would that have been? I would have been like, yes, thank you, God. They gave Chewbacca a little love, I guess. Him kicking out of doors.
He's the best pilot. He's the best pilot, not Poe. Yeah, you see, he's flying the Falcon, a big ship
with porgs all over him. Yeah.
He's getting attacked by porgs, flying through ice with a million TIE fighters on him.
And I don't care what anyone says. The scene at the beginning when Leia was shot out in space would have killed a Jedi Master, would have killed a Sith Lord. Leia is Force attuned. She's sensitive in the Force. Her having Force powers doesn't bug me at all. If she would have been in the bridge and it would have been sealed off and she would have been injured and she Force pulled herself out from there, but her being in the dead of space for an extended period of time is absolutely ridiculous.
I think that's what they wanted you. Well, that was one of those jaw-dropping moments where they just killed Leia. That's how she's gone.
But they should have killed her.
They should have. Or at least did something different where she didn't get sucked out in a vacuum or But the force fields on the shield were still up. So does that mess with the space in between the ship and the force field?
So would that?
Well, I read that there was ice.
She was totally
her
crystallized.
face did start to crystallize.
Yeah. So. No.
So how'd she come back from that? I would say no, because wouldn't that change the
Star Wars? It's whatever the writer wants them to do.
And people are like, oh, you're going to hate the movie if you think the Force can do A, B, C, D, and if you come up with...
It's whatever the writers wants the Force to do.
Yeah, that's fine, and I don't have a problem with that. Or if you have your... don't insult people for having theories about what the movie is, and that was a lot of hate I got, too. Oh, you came up with your own theories, and because they didn't play out, you didn't like it. No, that's not it at all. It was poorly done in any facet. Get off.
Be nice to people. Moral of the story.
Nah, don't be nice to me. I don't like you guys. Everyone that insulted me on that, man.
We love fans.
Gosh. I challenge you to a Star Wars fan off. Everybody in there that called me out because that's the most garbage excuse I've ever heard.
Star Wars.
This movie was a 5 out of 10. Deal with it, accept it, and hope the next movie is better.
In your eyes. Again, film is one of those art forms that's so subjective. It really is.
I think you enjoyed it because it was done well as a film. I don't know if you enjoyed it as much because it was a Star Wars movie.
I'm a sucker for visuals, for just
any Star Wars will do that.
Stupid fan theory moments like Rey and Kylo in the throne room.
Yeah.
Avengers.
I love just everything. What do you mean?
Avengers is not the greatest
Age of Ultron
cinematic. It's a very
but the first one
movie.
When they're circled up and it's the
the visuals
that's
and
dope.
the thought of it's great. I've watched the movie. I've watched Avengers now.
I mean, Marvel's kind
Age of Ultron, but Civil War. I've watched those now, so it's not like I'm just guessing. I've watched these movies, and I will admit it's kind of cool when they team up. I hate the characters, but the thought of all these superheroes coming together. But really, it's just a visual movie. There's good story, especially the first Avengers. Age of Ultron, not so much, and Civil War. Civil War
is great. What are you talking about?
Oh no, it's not.
Civil War's great.
See, I did enjoy Civil War.
Civil War.
Ha! Joke's on you.
Okay.
Who's the bully now, Michael?
Not to derail it from Star Wars, but my problem with that was just Captain America. He's supposed to, and I know, but it was this guy, just this one person. He's trying to save him, but all this other destruction happened. The Avengers got torn apart, which are now back together, but.
You can even tie it into that movie, though, this movie, because this is what I was just talking to Morgan about earlier, and I had a couple customers come in today, and they made me think of it. This movie, this Star Wars movie, seems so much like the most recent Marvel movies. With the comedy they instilled into it, the comedic characters like the Porg. And I'm not saying Star Wars has always been the most serious. There's always lighthearted moments in the Star Wars franchise. The Ewoks, there's jokes here and there. You know what I'm saying? But they went too far into comedy in this one. and a couple moments that really threw me off. Like they tried to make it a Marvel movie.
There was one shot that kind of threw me off when BB-8 was in the ATST.
Oh yeah.
And then it cut to like Finn and Rose with like the.
I actually like that.
And then they had to run off screen like that. That kind of threw me off.
I like that one. I did not. The one I did not like was obviously like everything is shooting Luke, and then he just goes.
Yeah,
that was great.
I was like, great. I was like, Luke Skywalker wouldn't do that in that moment. Like,
that's a Mark Hamill kind of thing, but even the wink when he winked to C-3PO, like that's a Mark Hamill thing.
I didn't mind the wink. I didn't mind the wink.
But
I
was like,
the Force projection was also so weird. I know we're skipping everything in between here, but like when he handed Leia the dice from the Millennium Falcon, that was just a Force projection too. So
he did pull them when he was alive when he went in,
but he just went. And then, like, they just disappeared. So his concentration was not only on fighting Kylo, but he's like, I got to keep those dice around too for Leia to hold until I dissipate.
But like to get back to what he said though, like the cinematics of it were great.
Oh yeah,
the space and all that. It's the problem I think we both have with it is just the decisions that were made, writing, and
it was beautiful, but it wasn't. It wasn't done well.
I mean, visuals obviously, like I would say visuals are better than the prequels, but I still. The prequels, all of them are better, except for I don't really like Attack of the Clones, but like Revenge of the Sith definitely, and I would even say the Phantom Menace is.
I don't know all the hate the Phantom Menace gets. I mean, it's all because of Jar Jar
Binks.
But who gives a crap? The Phantom Menace was done.
Pod Race is actually fun.
Another unpopular opinion, because I already know you guys hate me because I don't like the Avengers. I don't care, but I like Jar Jar Binks more than Yoda.
Whoa! No, I don't know about all that.
And I will tell you why right now. Yoda, who is supposedly one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, all through the prequels, he sensed the disturbance with Anakin, but then at Attack of the Clones, he's being trained as a Jedi.
I think that's the arrogance of
the Jedi Council at
the time.
But all those Jedis are so powerful. This is why I don't like Mace Windu either.
Oh no!
Here we go.
They are so smart, but they're like, they don't sense that Palpatine, who is sitting right in front of their face, that there's a disturbance there. Like Yoda, like he doesn't get that, and then it's not till the end that they realize it.
I think they're always uneasy with Palpatine because I think they can sense it, but I think
they always send people to protect them, and it's like.
I guess it speaks more to like Palpatine in my mind, that how he's able to disrupt their.
Yeah.
But no, I understand where you're coming from.
Like Palpatine was very powerful, but like Yoda, very powerful. And then in like his lightsaber battles, it was always a draw. Like him and Dooku, they just went off. And then in Revenge of the Sith, I can't remember who it was.
It was Palpatine.
It was Palpatine.
Palpatine won that, I think.
Yeah,
no, Palpatine won that.
It launched Yoda in down steps or whatever.
It was like, to me, like Yoda, like the original movies, I would say was a cash grab. With the prequels, no, like he needs to be there. But like, to me, Jar Jar Binks, like he's not like a pivotal character, but like I knew what he was, and it wasn't like. I just enjoyed him more. Like, to me, Yoda makes me mad. He also makes me mad on Battlefront 2. That's why I hold a grudge. He's terrible.
He's so small to
hit. He's the worst character on that game.
Anytime you see a green lightsaber and it's like ground level, you're like, dang,
you have to jump.
They got Yoda.
I always use them because you have to jump to make every move, and that really just ticks people off. But, like, you can't use any of his moves. But, like, that simple fact from the prequels, like, I like him more in the TV show.
The Clone Wars is how Star Wars is supposed to be made.
Much better, but like 1, 2, 3.
And if you like Jar Jar, the Clone Wars, you'll even get some Jar Jar arcs in there, which a lot of people. There are legit Jar Jar arcs in there.
Where it was he crashed a ship and Padme was like, was it Jar Jar? And C-3PO was like, it was Jar Jar.
Yeah, I mean,
it was Jar Jar.
Yeah, Jar Jar gets some respect in the Clone Wars series too.
He like saved the day, but he crashed this ship.
And maybe that's why I'm so bitter, because I know that they can do better, and I guess it's just like with the animated stuff, and I guess they can take more liberties with the animated stuff. They can show you more like fan service in the animated stuff, but like the Clone Wars, I guess, just spoiled me. Maybe I'm just spoiled to what Star Wars can be, because I think the Clone Wars, if that was live action...
I think we're all spoiled at this point.
Yeah, I mean...
I would like to see them do a show in between 6 and 7. Or like...
Inferno Squadron, the book.
Well, I mean, like, but like the Clone Wars, do that... Because I think you could do a lot there, because there's a lot of, you know, the Empire's fallen, so you would assume there's a lot of violence.
That would help explain all the stuff that happened.
Yeah, how the First Order came
They're
to
still
be.
powerful
I'm sure they'll do
characters.
something
Luke,
like that.
Han, you know, the Jedi would probably be in control for the most part.
It'd be cool to see who Luke was training at one point, you know what I mean? I think that'd be cool.
I mean, there's probably a spin-off opportunity there, like one of his students that didn't get killed or something. One of them got out.
There's always other Jedi out there somewhere.
This movie made me like Rogue One a little bit more too.
I liked Rogue One.
I liked Rogue One,
Yeah.
but at the time of the movie, I was like, it's just it is what it is. Like to me,
the opening felt a lot like Rogue One, where they're dropping the bombs on the dreadnought and like all the bombers are dying. That felt very Rogue One to me.
And I guess I'm looking too much into like the vacuum of space. I keep saying that too. Like the bombers, when like the bottom of the thing was just open.
Why do the ships always like go nose down?
Because
there's no gravity. They should just stay there. Yeah.
I mean, who knows, man? Who knows?
Star Wars.
And that's fine. I guess I don't care about that, but because I really enjoyed the first couple sequences, and when that happened, I'm like, it's gonna be so cool. But another thing I want to touch on, because we haven't said really much about it, they just destroyed my image of what Luke Skywalker should be in Star Wars. They just elbow dropped my heart when it came to like Luke. I can understand that they tried making him distant because he had abandoned the Force. He felt like he let everyone down. But the mere fact that the scene that Luke even considered killing Ben is the most un-Luke Skywalker thing that you could ever possibly do. Especially after how he found redemption in his father. I can't imagine that Luke would be like, Vader was redeemable, but not Ben Solo, my nephew. And for him to try and assassinate him in his sleep is the most.
I think that's a character development plot with him. Like he ignited it, but then he's like, "What am I doing? I can't do that." Like I'd be letting him down, but by that time Ben's already awake, pulls his lightsaber over, and then he's Ben, no. Then he yanks the ceiling down on him.
Okay, and then also there too, how's Ben even touch Luke when it comes to force ability or lightsaber?
Got the jump on him?
I don't know. And then like he's a hermit, and I can understand he's a hermit, and he's trying to off-put Rey. Why'd he milk that weird space cow?
That was weird too.
I was like,
why did
milk.
they have that?
Like why'd they do that?
The way the
way he
space
looked
thing,
at it
yeah,
and
he was
drank,
like,
his
and then the cow even
the
was
snake
like,
thing was like, and then Rey's like,
yeah,
hey, what's up?
yeah. He did that stuff, and that threw me off.
And when he drank it, he was just like, I was just like, what is going on?
Like Luke not being able to sense. I guess he's not in tune with the Force anymore, but not being able to sense like the weird stuff, the weird Force Skype is what everyone's calling it, that Rey and Kylo are doing.
That was so cool. I love those scenes.
I don't mind it. I don't think that's terrible. It's weird to me when they were touching. Did Luke actually see Kylo, or was that just like Rey talking to him and then he sensed it finally?
I think he sensed it.
Because I mean, the scene was them both sitting there.
It was a shot of them touching like fingers, and then it cut to the door, and then it cut to the door. Then Luke busted in, and then I think it cut to a POV perspective from Luke, where it was just her with her hand out.
No, they were both there.
Were they both there?
100% they were both there, and that's what threw me off.
And then he like blew the roof off.
Yeah.
Apparently that was practical. They had one shot to do that.
Oh, cool.
So
good for them.
Good on you.
Yeah, and another thing. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue down the Luke path of how they misdid his character. When Rey had finally had enough, and she started like coming at Luke fighting, Luke pulled the switch off, and at first he was like stopping her and everything like that. The mere fact that she was able to like touch Luke.
I don't think he wanted to fight her.
Oh, I agree, but why didn't he just push her? Why didn't he just pick her up? Why didn't he just like
I don't think he felt in danger until like she knocked him over and he had to like catch himself with the Force.
I agree. Okay, I agree to a limit with that, and maybe I'm just overpowering Luke because of what I think Luke should be, which I'm not. I am not a Disney writer. I'm not a Star Wars writer. But then that, and then for them, you want to know how Luke should have died, and I've said this a couple times. So when the Imperial forces were making their final push, the coolest thing they could have done. First off, they should have let Finn die if they wanted.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
That would have been dope.
That would have made his character stand out so much more. They should have allowed Luke to get his X-Wing and R2 back.
I was expecting the X-Wing to come
I
out,
was too. I was expecting the X-Wing to come down, take out most of the main ships. What would have been cool was if he got shot down, he was able to come out of there, he was able to stop the ground forces, and he was able to beat Kylo in a duel. And then he used the last of his Force ability, maybe like protecting, or not.
Put up
force,
like a force field for like.
God, you can do anything, I guess. Now that you can use force projection, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then stop him for one, like, and then he dissipates and becomes one with the Force. And then I would have been like, you know what? It was a great send off for that character. But
See, I don't have a problem with the way he died in this movie.
I don't.
I really don't.
It's always like they just fade away.
Because like
Obi-Wan's just like,
I mean,
and Yoda just disappeared, and then
because you don't know how far that planet is away from Crate. Like, you don't know if the X-Wing's fast enough to get there in light speed. I don't know if there's varying levels of light speed.
But the Millennium Falcon got there. Millennium
Yeah.
Falcon got there kind of decent.
Yeah.
I also didn't like how Chewbacca was just down there chilling with the Falcon. Like, I felt bad for him.
That poor
like,
suit was funny.
You know, let him live in one of those.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, I guess he
That's
got
cool.
That's like his
Like,
ship, though. That's like his
Yeah, but
home.
he's always in the Falcon. Like, you know, let him upgrade. You know, is it
Move
because
him
he's
up.
not a Jedi? Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Is it because he's not a human? They got something like.
I think it's
Is there something deeper there? You know?
Wow.
He
But
probably would have ate those fish people.
I wish you would have.
I did like when he was about to eat a pork, and the porks were like.
Oh, really?
I was just like, oh my gosh, like poor Chewbacca. Like, you know,
Guy can't even eat. He turned vegan in this video.
Okay. Is there is there anything you would have done that could have redeemed the movie? Like, I know there's nothing redeeming for you, but is there something they
I mean,
could have
there's
done?
probably things I would have changed, but that would probably set off the domino effect. You'd have to change things later in the film or earlier in the film. I don't know.
I want to kill off Snoke for one.
I don't think I would have either,
I wanna kill
but
Snoke.
I feel like that was a big character moment for Kylo.
I would have waited till at least the end of the movie, though. I wouldn't have done
Yeah.
it midway through.
And then it
I
was
think
like,
That was like late Act 2.
Another thing is I think the final, like, battle could have been more. Like, there was ATs and all that, and it just everyone loves the ATs, and then there's little
ATM-6s are dope.
they're just like little like buckety old ships, like
Ski speeders.
They're coming to get
Those things are rickety.
But I don't know, like they're just trapped in a cave. Like, to me, that was weak. Like, that could have been stronger. There's so many things. Like the things I mentioned earlier, like Snoke, Rey's parents, Leia not floating through space. Like,
gosh.
I feel like I would have changed that too, because that kind of, I don't know, maybe it was the way it was shot. Like,
not spent the,
camera
whole
angles was done,
movie
it was all
just
CG.
running out of gas. Like, to me, that was, you know, like a scene.
it would have been nice if Holdo would have like told
Rose.
Poe what was going on.
Get rid of Rose
even though
earlier.
like she is like acting commander at this point. And he's just kind
get
of
rid of Rose
Captain.
earlier. Like, you know, she was not.
Rose.
I
want to call Rose a bad name, but I don't want.
I felt really bad because, like, I went with Blake, and Blake liked the movie, and afterwards it's like, yeah, I like it, and I was like,
Allie liked it too.
I was just like,
so.
I don't want to. I feel really bad because all I keep seeing is like the actress for Rose, how sweet and how it seems like she's a very genuinely good person, and I hate that I hate her character so much. But it's definitely not the actress. If some off chance the cast is seeing this, which I know in a million years they won't.
I hope you do. Hi, I love your movie.
Please,
can I come on set?
Please, like, don't take offense to that. But her character is just such garbage. But like,
hold on,
it's
trash.
Yeah.
It's trash.
We need to
make
like an insert where it's just.
We need to make a segment where it's like, yeah, it's just like Danny saying, it's trash.
like a hot 30 seconds where it just go boom, 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 boom.
That's trash.
Like
that's trash.
Peter Griffin when it grinds his gears and he's like, you know what really grinds my. But like, I think they could have redeemed the movie in a couple things. Like, all the little nitpicky stuff I said, if they would allow Snoke to live and make him the big bad. So, you don't. Okay, if you want to. There's two things that could happen. Leave Snoke alive and have Kylo become Ben again and join Rey. That would have been cool to see two good Jedis go against a supposed, like, overbearing, overpowerful dark side user in Snoke, okay? Or kill Snoke and allow Rey to turn to the dark side.
I thought they were going to do a double turn, honestly.
Well, how cool would it have been to see...
Wrestling reference.
Yeah, another wrestling reference. When she, like...
When
Luke mentioned, like, you didn't even try to stop yourself, like, oh, sweet, they're going to do a double turn.
Yeah. That would have been cool, but then you would have had to keep Luke alive as the main, like... I guess...
I don't think we're we're not done with Luke.
Oh, he'll come back.
He's gonna come
He'll
back
come
as
back
Force
for
Ghost.
Spear. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the twists and turns were not as jaw dropping as everyone else made them to be, or they weren't as jaw dropping for me because I just didn't think they held any value. So if one of those two things would have happened, I would have taken everything back and ate crow that movie was incredible that they did that. I think.
One other thing that bothered me, and you were talking about cash grabs.
Mm-hmm.
One cash grab I think they just missed out on was they had cut, and I know it added to character
Oh, okay, I know what
development,
you're gonna say.
but he crushed his helmet.
Yeah.
Like he, it's a much more imposing.
I think again,
visual
character development.
Yeah, and like I understand that one. Like to me, like it was like
You're
like,
a
I was
child in
upset.
a mask.
I was like upset about it, but I was like, I guess I get it.
No.
But
I wish they could have
That-
kept his like that carbon fiber like mesh
Oh,
over
on
his
his
scar. That
scar.
was dope. I didn't
That
like
was
how it
kinda
healed
cool.
up so quick.
what about when he was shirtless?
Dude, Adam Driver.
Oh, he's
is
ripped,
thick.
but it was
I was
pointless.
weird.
It was
His
really
chest
pointless
was
in that scene.
huge.
She was like, "Can you put something on?"
That's what I want to be
was just
like. What do you? Because what
I
was he?
mean, it
What was he
It
doing
was a private,
at that time?
It was a private moment.
Does he
though.
just
Like, he's
sit?
sitting
He
I
just
mean,
sits in his room shirtless.
well, I mean, you.
Ray
I'm
was
sure,
like, I'd rather not do this right now.
I mean,
and,
like-
Adam, and Kyle was like, yeah, me too.
I've been at my house before with my shirt off. Like he's on,
I'm not a big shirtless guy, I guess.
I am.
Well, I'm
I
not
love
either. I'm not either. But like,
What is it? Walk into your homes, you're going to be nude the whole time.
it. Yeah, pretty much. That,
Oh, hey, Danny, sorry.
Tanner, yes. Like,
yeah.
Tanner, yeah.
I walk around in just boxers. I don't care.
Yeah.
I live in the country. No one sees me
Yeah.
other than my cats.
Tanner has a lot of cats.
Let's not talk about my cats.
Me too. We have some for the dog.
The Knights
adorable.
of the Knights of Ren, like that could be a good cash grab too. Like, are they just gonna bring him in the final movie, or are they
I
dead?
don't think we're done.
And because
Knights
even
of Ren.
Snoke's like, ooh, the powerful leader of the Knights of Ren, and I'm like, the powerful leader of the Knights of Ren, are they powerful? Because I never seen
Where
them.
are they?
Like, what purpose do they hold? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What?
I think JJ's gonna reel in some storylines. Knights of Ren.
So
I think
he's
will be
gonna
more.
direct the.
He's directing 9,
Okay.
and he's writing with Chris Terrio. Thankfully, because I don't know how I feel about Chris Terrio as a writer anymore.
what else has he done?
You know who's
He wrote Batman vs Superman,
I was
and then
gonna bring in Zack
and then,
Snyder. I was like, oh.
who came in after Terrio
I don't
to
know.
do rewrite? He
I-
pretty much rewrote the entire script. I mean,
Well, we
still wasn't that great. No, I can't remember.
He
I'll look
did
it up.
rewrite the script, didn't he?
Will Wheaton? Justice League, not Batman vs Superman.
Oh yeah. My bad.
I'm so emotionally drained from this movie. Like, I don't know. It's like
I was
weighing
drained
so
in a good way.
heavily on my soul. Like, I'm just like, now I gotta wait like 2-3 more years for the next one. What is it? 2 years probably.
Probably
And
so.
then the
Okay.
next movie is what, the Han
Yeah,
Solo
definitely.
prequel.
That comes out May 4th, I believe.
Man,
Oh,
I don't know how I feel
May
about
the
that,
4th
but
I don't
with
really
you.
care.
I love Donald Glover. Anything Donald
A
Glover
young
touches
Lando's
is
gonna be
gold.
dope.
So I'm hoping that's awesome.
May
Dude's
4th of
brilliant.
what year? This coming year?
Next year.
It has to be sometime soon. I think there's gonna be like Star Wars movie like every year. I'm so just,
Admiral Ackbar movie, make it happen.
dude, I'd watch it. I would watch an Admiral.
just
Ackbar.
him
I would
saying
watch
it's a
it.
trap.
I would watch a 2-hour like loop of him going.
Well, I watched the Christmas special where Chewie had a family, a
That was
wife,
weird.
and had a dad and had a son, and it was like the most uncomfortable thing I've ever watched.
Like,
but-
you don't know what they're saying.
No, because like, it's literally, you're just.
David Goyer
Yeah.
did rewrites.
Oh,
He helped
Dark Knight.
write Argo.
He did Dark Knight.
Did he? With
too.
Nolan?
Yeah.
He wrote Argo. I think he
So
does
good,
most of.
good movies.
So he's done a hell of a job.
I mean, he salvaged Batman or Superman, I guess.
Did he? Did he salvage it? I mean, I liked
think
it,
he did.
but
I didn't hate Batman.
I mean,
vs. Superman.
I need
There
to
were
see
some
the
plot
original
holes,
script, but
but send it over.
I love reading scripts. I want to send you guys. Well, it's gone
No,
out. You
don't-
can find it on the
don't
internet.
give me spoilers.
No, it's the Justice League movie that Jim Miller was, or not Jim Miller,
I've
George
seen
Miller
it.
was supposed to direct. Justice League Mortal. Armie Hammer was supposed to be Batman.
I actually like Armie Hammer. I would
It's-
support him being
It's
Batman
really
right now.
good. Made me cry. It's so good.
Movies,
So good.
underrated movies that Armie Hammer's in. Lone
Man from
Ranger,
Uncle.
Man from Uncle, also
Really
good,
good.
with
Henry
Superman.
Cavill.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. So he doesn't make a lot of money, which is probably why he's not going to be Batman. But it's sad.
You
He's
have to
really
be a
good
billionaire in real life to play Bruce Wayne.
He could be Bruce Wayne though. Like he's a
Yeah.
big dude
He's like 6'5".
and he's a good actor. Like
Make him Hal Jordan then, man.
he could,
I
he
see
could also be
a lot.
Hal.
I'm down.
I
he
see a
could
lot
also
of
be
fan
Hal-
casts as him, Hal Jordan. That'd be
Yeah.
really cool.
He could also be.
He
Hal
tweets a lot about Green Lantern.
I hope, man. Just give me a Green Lantern movie, something to salvage my life right now. Because,
A good one, please.
Yeah,
Not a Jack Black comedy.
My goodness, I'm so.
I'm just
torn
imagining
with
him
this
as Green Lantern just doing School of Rock.
Yeah, playing the Green construct guitar, tripping people on like banana peels with like his. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
All
The
right.
Last Jedi, and also, sorry,
No,
I
you
didn't
go ahead.
interrupt.
You go ahead.
The Last Jedi, and I'll finish with this. What? Why is it even called The Last Jedi? Like, so Luke wanted to end the Last Jedi, or Luke wanted to end the Jedi Order for like 30 minutes, and then he came to terms with it not being ended, and then
And
he's
Rey
like,
still.
yeah, and then Rey's still a Jedi,
Rey is a Jedi.
and then what? And then
she has the books that were in the Jedi
what,
tree.
What is that gonna do? Because even Yoda's like
everything that's in that book, she already knows.
Yeah, so what?
They're
so,
not page turners.
Oh, and she doesn't seem to know very much. So like, what is she gonna do?
I need someone
to, like-
to show me my place.
Yeah,
It's
what-
like-
Shout me my place. Michael Kine.
What is she gonna do to like raise a new
Master
Jedi
Wife.
Order? I don't know.
Master Wife.
I like Michael Caine.
Oh my god.
I think we're gonna see Rey start training young.
Oh, in
young
the last
kids.
movie,
No, you have
she's
to
gonna.
finish them.
Wait, no, she's not even fully
Kid from-
Trained
trained
herself.
Kid from Canto Bite. She's got the books.
That's
Do it.
lame.
I think
And then
that
she's
kid
gonna
from Canto Bite.
slaughter them all.
The kid from Canto Bite might be
She's gonna kill them all.
the kid that Ryan Johnson's doing the spinoff with.
We're gonna
Maybe.
kill them all.
Kill them all.
She's gonna just the lightsaber's gonna slip out of her hand or something.
Oops.
Yeah, like oh my
I think
god.
she's a proficient. She took down what are those called? Praetorian
Praetorian guards.
Praetorian guards.
So-
Like those dudes weren't a joke.
She.
And that's she's becoming overpowered for no reason. And then they're like, that's the only problem I have with the lineage thing. If her parents were nobody, then
How
she
is
should
she
have
so strong?
exactly. Unless, and I said this to
I
you,
don't think her parents are junkers. I think there's something
That's
there
fine.
that they're not telling.
if she's the
Said it
embodiment,
would happen in this
Yeah.
movie.
Honestly,
Didn't.
when she went down in that hole and she touched the mirror and like those two figures started coming and then they started like converging, I was like, Danny's right. She's a Force ghost or something. She's
I
like
was-
an embodiment of the
if
Force.
she's the embodiment of the light side of the Force, and Kylo is the embodiment of the dark side of the Force, like in the Clone Wars, there's embodiments of the Force. And there's a balance, but if that is like she's like the reincarnation of like the living Force, the light side of the living Force, I'd be like, okay, she just hasn't discovered herself, so that's why she's finding out that she's like capable of so much. But if it's just that she's a junker's kid, I'll be like, then you have no right to be a good pilot. This master swordsman already, you know what I mean? And like the same thing. Well, I guess Kylo's trained, so like him as the dark embodiment or the embodiment of the dark side of the Force, I would love to see something cool like that, and then that would explain everything, and I would just apologize to everybody the next movie, but it won't happen because I want it to happen.
I'm sad. I'm just sad. What would because we talked about this before, where would you rank this movie? If you had to do like top to bottom Star Wars ranking.
Live action movies?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it's
Not counting Rogue One either.
Oh,
I'd count Rogue.
I can even put Rogue
No,
One
but
in there.
like no.
Just in
Rogue One's a good
Skywalker
movie.
saga.
I'm just just
Okay.
one through 8.
It's my lowest movie.
I'm not even gonna like try to rank the prequels. They're just the bottom 3. I'm just establishing.
You're the
that.
worst.
I am not Donald Trump.
That's true. Every
Sad.
Every day. I just,
Sad. Huge.
Just like
I'm not the worst.
He's huge. He's the worst.
I am not the worst.
He is the worst. Well, Donald Trump's the worst.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I agree with that.
Oh gosh. This could turn into something else too.
Let's just. Flip
I've
the
always
table.
wondered. I've always wondered when politics are gonna creep into the show.
I think we all have very similar
I
political
think we're
views.
on the
so-
same page here.
We don't need to. We
Yeah.
don't need to
Just
get
don't
into
like
that.
the guy.
Might lose some viewers.
Gosh.
I don't care. I don't really care. I'm at that point.
Me too.
Yeah, I need to do that.
I mean, it's literally my last one. If I'm going from like worst to best, it's literally what? Okay, so it would be The Last Jedi at worst. Man, I really don't hate the prequels.
I feel like he
Attack
hates
of the
them.
Clones.
He loves them.
I do hate them. They give me a headache. I hate them.
Oh jeez, mate. Oh man. Maybe no, it's not. It's not that bad. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to be like the Phantom Menace and like Revenge of the Sith are like one of my two tops. But man, I like them. They're right on par, if not they're not better done. They are not better done movies than the originals, but I enjoyed them more because that's how I want to see Star Wars. Ah, jeez, I don't know.
4, the original, number 1.
Best, you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
7, number 2. And then Empire, and then Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Return of the Jedi. I would say this movie, and then I'd say Attack of the Clones. I really just don't like Attack of the Clones.
Another thing is, and like I think that's a really good ranking. It's hard for me to do it because I really love all Star Wars movies. So like putting like one above the other is hard for me for everything except for this crappy movie. Because, like, it blows my mind too. Like I'm not sitting here trying to be like a Star Wars hater.
I don't think you can get better than the original story. The original story is just like everything. Yeah, it is. Like that is the basis of all Star. It was so good that they redid it. Like that's how good of a movie it is. But 7 was so good because it was a remake of that.
Could anyone else sit here and list off 100 things that the prequels did that... Look, okay, so this... I guess I'm getting ahead of myself. A couple, about 50 comments on that post, too, were... okay, name me anything good that came out of the prequels. And in my head, I sat there, and for like 20 minutes, I was just going, this. Like seeing
like
Jedi...
good for the story, or like good for...
Just
the good
to like pop culture.
Good to see. Like,
okay.
Jedi's at their peak. Yoda with a lightsaber is cool. Mace Windu with a lightsaber is cool. Darth Maul has become one of the most iconic Star Wars villains of all time.
Barely, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like everything good came from those prequels. Like, they might not have been perfect movies, but like everything, the Clone Wars, the television show, that's a prequel, series. Like,
you got to see more of the iconic characters like Yoda.
Yeah.
R2,
Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, the most perfect casting ever. I love that guy as Obi-Wan.
I just like Ewan McGregor.
You know what I'm saying? Like, General Grievous, the coolest.
Grievous is a toy. I'm sorry.
General Grievous is the coolest.
Grievous. Why does a robot have a cough?
He wasn't a Oh, I'll tell you why. I know exactly why he has a cough. He was a warrior.
Is this a virus?
No, it isn't. In the Clone Wars, it's explained. In the original animated series of the Clone Wars, it's explained. He doesn't have that cough, and he's slaughtering Jedis. So it leads right into Episode 3. So when they capture Palpatine, the only reason he has that cough is because he just kidnapped Palpatine, and on his way leaving, he had escaped Jedi. One of the Jedi he escaped was Mace Windu. On the way of him taunting Mace Windu before they leave, Mace Windu force crushed his chest and his neck, and it made him have that like cough and that like.
He's a robot.
No way! I
he's
can't.
A robot.
I'm never gonna speak. to you again.
Robots have voice modulators.
I like Count Dooku.
He's not a robot though. He's a cyborg.
The way he talks, I like. Count
Is he really?
Dooku.
Is he a cyborg?
Yeah.
So he was a human.
No, he wasn't a human. He was a humanoid species. He was like
Okay.
almost like a transition, but it's a completely different species.
Pod racers.
I can't think of like the.
So he has organic.
I like
Yeah.
pod racing.
That's how Obi-Wan
Internal-
shoots him in the
I'm
chest,
just gonna
and
name
it's like his actual heart beating.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
And his eyes are real. Attention to detail. Gosh.
Different characters. Those are cool.
I can't buy it.
No way.
I mean,
Natalie.
I'm not going to
like
dispute your
that
facts,
one.
but it just irks me. He
General-
looks like a robot. He has 3 arms.
4 arms. And he can fight with his
We
feet.
saw Vader get stoned.
And he can fight with his
I'm just naming
feet.
things over here.
Moral of the story: I don't like the prequel.
Jeez, I don't know how. Oh my gosh.
All right, here we go.
Well, we already know the prequels are at the bottom. So
Yes, we've established that. In any order, don't care.
Revenge of the Sith. Now, I could almost give you 1 and 2, even though I would totally.
I mean, I'd probably rank
Revenge of the
3
Sith,
ahead
though,
of 1 and 2.
Actually, a really good movie.
Why does everyone hate that? So I think is literally
I
Jar
like
Jar the
Fan-
only?
No, I love Phantom.
I-
I love Phantom.
because what else is wrong with it? Because I feel like it goes
I
into
haven't seen
everybody.
it
I would
enough to like
say,
digest it. I've only
to
seen
be
it a long
objective
time.
about it, I would say trade negotiations. Like,
Yeah.
That people didn't like seeing the Senate and stuff like that.
Yeah,
or
like,
okay.
I think that's the
It
big.
felt too political.
But you know
for
what I
some
like?
reason.
You know what I like about it though? I feel like it appeases older fans as well as newer ones because it wasn't all CGI. There was a lot of practical effects to it. I thought, at the same time.
In the what?
In the Phantom Menace,
Okay.
I thought the Phantom Menace had maybe not like the end all be all, but I think it had because I think Yoda was still a puppet.
No,
He was CG.
Was he
He
totally-
was a
They were
puppet
really-
in 1.
That's what I'm
2 and
saying.
3, I think,
Phantom
was
Menace.
CG.
He was a puppet in one of them.
I thought he was CGI.
No, he was a puppet in one of
He
them.
was a puppet in 1.
Everyone
Yeah.
is
When they're all sitting
really,
around Jedi Council,
Everyone
I
was
think he's a puppet
really
now.
mad that he was CGI.
But
Which
when he
there's
does flips and stuff,
there's
he's
a-
like,
That
"That's
was
CG."
that was
That's
2
all
and 3.
CG.
I'm almost
Yeah.
Because
positive.
there's
Yeah.
a total difference from Like even in this movie, you can tell like the puppet and the CGI. Like it.
Oh yeah,
He
was all puppet. He was all practical in this movie.
I thought they did a cool job with that, and like, I don't know. And Qui-Gon's one of my favorite characters. I mean, Liam Neeson's the same dude in every movie, but I mean, he's cool. Liam Neeson as a Jedi is cool.
He's one of my favorite Jedi. Like
yeah,
by far. Like I think I like him more.
He's very level-headed.
Like I don't really like Luke.
Well, I mean
that's kind of a characteristic of all Jedi though. Like they're all just kind of mellow.
Well, I would say because he's even disobeyed the Jedi Council like numerous times, and like he was really close to a Grey Jedi, which I would have loved to see in this. Because
I think Rey's going to be more of a Grey Jedi.
Dooku was his apprentice, wasn't it?
Dooku was his
master.
His master.
Yeah. Sorry, not apprentice. I got the.
Dooku was his master.
Yeah, Dooku was his master.
Yeah.
Darth Tyrannus.
I really liked it. I don't know. I'm sorry to interrupt your thing. Whatever the rest of your ratings.
Okay. I'm gonna go with 7 at number 1. That movie hit me, man.
Man.
That's my favorite movie of all time.
I don't know.
You've said that before. I remember.
It was during the Star Wars episode. The last.
I love that movie too. I mean,
it's just I don't know what it is.
I mean, everyone's entitled to their
That movie made me want to go back and watch the original
entitled to their own
trilogy.
opinion. We just don't respect yours at this moment.
You're just wrong.
I guess I don't want people to like. I guess I'm coming off like that, but I understand if everyone loved this movie, that's fine.
Danny, you're coming off like that.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
You're coming off like Michael does.
7, 5.
You like 5 that much?
Yeah. Empire's dope.
Empire's really good.
Empire's dope.
I think Empire's a little dark at times. Like, and not like because of the dark side. I just think it. I don't know. There's like it's a little grungy at times.
I like my movies a little gritty.
I don't know. Like I like there's gritty,
Dark
but
Knight trilogy.
it was just like I don't know.
That movie stood out to me.
Really
Among the trilogy, that movie stood out.
I really like 5.
I'm gonna go 7, 5, probably 4.
7, 5, 4.
8, 6. I think 8 and 6 can flip flop. Right now, 8's probably ahead of 6.
Interesting.
Jake one time said that 6 was his favorite movie, and I was like,
I think 6 is probably the most boring. I don't like.
What is the point of 6?
Endor
Like, there's
is kinda
another Death Star. Like, they're in the process of building it. Like,
I like seeing
just
Luke
not
with
a
a
fan of
green.
Endor.
I like seeing him in like the Black Jedi.
there was like cool things about it, but didn't it take like 40 minutes for him to, like that opening thing?
And then they really punked Boba then too. He just like
Sarlacc.
Whoa!
The Wilhelm scream.
Yeah,
I love the the Family Guy thing where they're all around the Sarlacc.
Blue Harvest or whatever they call it.
It's but it's the one about Return of the Jedi, and they're who's getting pushed in? Is it Luke?
Yeah. Oh, and they're doing the
and they're all just and there's a baseball player.
Yeah, that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah. They even say in that movie, it's like it's not as good as Empire.
No,
like,
it's. I mean, for the original trilogy, it's 5, 4, 6.
Well, I read
for me
over the weekend. I read that Lucas didn't want to direct it. I don't know how true this is, but he didn't. He didn't originally direct 6, but then they hated the direction of it, so he took it back over. Like
I'm not sure.
He still had creative. I'm not completely sure. I read that on the internet. Could be false. Who knows? But,
it's the internet.
Yeah. Real news. Real news on the internet. Oh,
Dude,
unless you're CNN. All right, I'm done with politics. I'm done.
You're making it worse.
Sorry.
We're gonna have to cut that. We're gonna have to censor that. Net neutrality.
Welcome to Trump's America.
Don't use science-based transgender anymore.
Topic for another time.
Yeah, Jesus.
That.
Like a whole show.
We should do a politics show, which no one watched.
No one.
We should
Oh,
do
no, dude.
No, we put it on Facebook.
I
That
bet
might hit
she'd
a
be
million.
so mad
That might hit a
Oh,
million.
people would be angry with us. So that's why they'd watch it. They'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you literal snowflakes. This is all getting cut out, I think. This is all getting cut out.
I'd keep it.
Did you see the South Park episode where it was white people build homes?
yeah."
Oh my god! And they had the rebel
They
flag.
did it. They did an episode where I love that one, but they did one where like Donald Trump is because Donald Trump's Mr.
Mr. Garrison, yeah.
He comes back to South Park, and it's basically like it.
Oh God, I saw that. It was
And
hilarious.
it's like, you don't do anything for the whites. the whites are...
And then Ike took him back to like Canada and stuff like that. I liked it whenever the rednecks had the rebel flag and they had like the like the what is it the damn thing called, the little Google, like the home Google things, like not Siri.
Oh, like Alexa.
Yeah.
It's something like that. And they're like, "How do you like that, Alexa?" And it's like, woo! And they're all going crazy with like the rebel flag. And it's like it's so true. God, South Park. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh.
I still have to play the new one.
Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
The Fractured But
I'll-
I didn't like
might
it.
get it for Christmas. I don't know.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't, but
I mean, it's just more a stick.
It's funny, but the ending is like, it's a classic South Park ending, but it's disappointing. It's like, I played this and this is the ending. Like, that sucks. Like,
You have it?
I have it digitally. And I
Oh,
can't give
dang
it
it.
to you.
That's gonna bum
I
me.
mean, you come to my house and play it.
Star Wars.
Detour.
I mean, is there anything else you wanna get off your chest?
No, that's all I want to say.
I like that it took.
I'm gonna paint a little bush right here.
Looking for Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
There's tons of Star Wars characters. There's General Grievous, which is worth more than a lot of these other
I
ones.
love the Flame Trooper helmets. It's just the slit.
Oh, you don't even see them though. You like the Flame Trooper
dope.
helmets because it's just merchandise. You don't see them in the movies.
I know.
Though.
They were on crate.
For
I don't know if it was Flame Troopers.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it was,
no, when they
they
walk
look like
them-
snow troopers.
yeah, it which.
That-
I don't
that-
know. I'm done. I'm done talking about it. Whatever. It's everything.
I like it. Sorry.
Licks to the ground. It's salt. I was like, okay.
That's a cameo. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it
It's a
has to be a cameo, but who cares?
The dude who directed Rogue One has a cameo in it.
I don't. I thought there were some parts where I recognized somebody, but then at the same point, I was just so frustrated, and I just was like, okay.
Sorry that you guys didn't like this movie. I love it.
Yeah. That's fine.
54% of people
Again.
like it.
Yeah, lowest audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and then people
Again.
trying to say
Wait, we didn't talk about the conspiracy.
You want to do that in the live section? The conspiracy theories?
it doesn't matter to me.
We'll just do it now.
The conspiracies.
We're doing it live!
The conspiracies are that what Disney. No, that people are spamming negative reviews on Rotten Tomatoes to bring the audience score down, which is completely false. If I mean, I'm not an investigator, you know, I'm not Mueller out here, but like I wish I was. And they're sitting there saying that yeah, people are spamming negative accounts. I got on Rotten Tomatoes, and an individual commented on the tweet I put out, and he said it's odd that every 4 to 5 star ranking he sees on Rotten Tomatoes, he clicks on it to go to their profile page. Because I think even user reviews, you could go to a profile page. I've never reviewed on Rotten Tomatoes.
I have.
But you go there and you have a
movies
profile
you review?
page.
Last Jedi
Okay.
and Justice League, and there was a random movie. I can't even remember what it was.
But yeah, you click
Movies
on
I
Lone Ranger.
strongly like or dislike are the ones yeah.
get on there.
Yelp.
But like, yeah, you get on there and you click it, and it goes to a page, and it doesn't exist. The profile doesn't exist. Every 1 and 2 star rating I clicked, there's a profile, there's a person, you saw what they did, where they commented, blah, blah, blah. So it's odd to me, and they're just like generic 4 and 5s, like, oh, this is the greatest movie of all time, woohoo, like, oh, like, because it's Disney.
You sounded like Mickey right there.
Dude, that's what I'm saying, it's Disney, man, it's like, it's
That article that I retweeted was like, they're bots that are trying to like lower the score.
no, why?
My original conspiracy was just, the DC conspiracy. But, like, I sent this to you guys. I sent a screenshot. The critics' score of Justice League was 40%. The audience score was a 79. 79. I'm going to assume more than, like, 10 people, said whether they liked it or not. And, like, by the way, I think I've said this before. It's a flawed system anyway, because, if
It's either a pass or
it's
fail.
a 3 out of 5 that's over 50, so that's pass.
Yeah.
So, like, that'll add to the score. It's not like the 3 add,
It's not a total percentage, like accumulation.
So there's that. And then I looked at The Last Jedi just to see, and the critic score is, it was a 93. It's now a 92, which is still, really good.
Certified fresh.
Yeah, and the audience score is a 54%. And it's like, okay, so you can't tell me, because like Star Wars is a movie people are hyped up about, and I feel like there have been Star Wars movies. I don't know, because when I was young, I didn't care about the reviews or whatever. But like, I feel like, the prequels, they probably, if they didn't like it, they would have said something bad. Didn't look at that. whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Let's do that during the last section.
There's-
Let's look up.
There
Rotten
is a
Tomatoes for
there is a Disney.
It's a low. Yeah, I guess there's
I love Disney, but like there is a Disney. You know, they just bought Fox.
They just bought Fox.
And
60
there's
something
a Disney,
billion investment.
There's something going on there. Like that's a little fishy that, you know, they're complaining about that. Then what you said, you know, the 4 or 5 stars, there's no profile, but the 1 and 2 there is, and they're complaining that you know, the people who give them bad reviews are fake. And it's
I mean,
like that. I like, you know, Disney stuff, but
I do too. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say that I hate Disney stuff. I love a lot of Marvel movies and I love Disney stuff. You know, I'm a big Disney guy, but like to sit there, I don't know, and like all the Disney. I want to call them something else. I want to call them something writers, but all the Disney like
fanboys.
Yeah, all the Disney fanboys and fangirls sitting there being like, I had one girl say, "Oh, so all of us other lifelong fans that enjoyed the movie, what are we just wrong?" And even specifically,
I had a freaking crisis that whole night after watching the movie. I was like, laying in bed with my girlfriend, like, I feel wrong for liking this movie because everyone else hates it.
I don't know, man.
But I watched it the second time and I was like, no, I'm good, I'm fine, it's whatever.
you don't need to. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the movie, but like I don't want.
Yeah, I don't want you to
That's
not
what you
watch
get
it
out
or
of it.
this. Yeah,
Watch, make your own decision.
We're
For real,
saying,
watch it and make
your own
saying
opinion.
What we have a problem with.
Yeah.
Like,
Go watch it.
And I would say all the feedback I've gotten, at first it was like 60-40 agreeing with me negative. It might be breaking the 80-20 barrier negative to positive.
I just think Twitter is like an echo chamber
I have
of like
other- yeah.
I forget what the term is. It's like there's a term for it. Give me a second. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I have other friends though.
Vocal minority. Got it.
I have other friends though that saw it and they just said the same exact thing. Basically, Danny said. Like I was a little more nicer about it. Like, but they're like complete trash, terrible, hate it, not even excited for 9. I'm still.
I'm
excited.
real excited
I'm
for
still
9.
excited for
JJ
9.
was coming back.
But
I'm
like
excited.
I've had friends like say that this movie like
it'll be interesting to
made
see
them-
where he picks up on.
Yeah,
what stuff
they
he
hated
leaves
it
behind,
so
what
much
threads he
that
does
they
pick
don't
up
even
on.
want to keep watching. Like to me, that's
I'm gonna bring politics in it one more time. It's like the same.
Here we go.
It's like when you are either a Democrat or Republican, and you just vote straight down party lines because they're Democrats and they're Republicans. You know what I mean? Like you don't have you're a sheep, and you don't. Yeah, I'm calling everyone that does that a sheep. Yeah, you're a sheep because you do that, and you don't have your. So like, no one can sway you if they have a point of view that might be better, but because they're Republican, or they have a point of view that might be better because they're Democrat. You're just swayed by your own political party, and that's how we're in the mess we're in now. But so you're sitting there and like the
I
same.
wonder how many political comments we're gonna get.
So like you're sitting here with like Disney, and you're a Disney fan.
My bumper views up on.
So you're a Disney fan, you're a Star Wars fan, so you have to feel like you have to love whatever they do. They're terrible, but I gotta love them. I love Disney. I love it. But like
we love DC, but like Justice League, like,
yeah, I mean
it's not what it should have been. Batman vs Superman
I didn't
isn't
hate.
what it should.
I would say
have been.
Batman vs Superman more than Justice League.
pump your brakes.
It could have been better. I loved it,
Could've
but
been
it
better.
could have been better.
But I still think it was great.
It was.
I think it was.
I agree.
Great movie.
But it could have been better.
People don't be afraid to go against
The grain.
the grain.
Like when you're shaving.
Honestly, like so, I mean, yeah, like Tanner said, like you're shaving. But I'm just saying,
Gotta
like
go this way instead of this way.
if you're so caught up in just being a Disney fan that you can't
My
see
neck
flaws,
beard.
man. Ugh.
Pain. That's just terrible.
That's why I have razor burn right now.
Just grow beard, so it's all grow real
I
massive.
can't.
beards.
I have a neck beard. It's disgusting.
I got a
Yeah,
real
I
nice
get
neck
like
beard.
It comes down.
I get
here.
like a handlebar like that here.
You should get a-
It's
you
just
should get a
like
Fu
really-
Manchu.
it like it's like this. I'm like
You should get a Fu Manchu.
No, I should.
Get a Hulk Hogan.
Brother.
Well, I do have practice hitting you with steel chairs. So
There you go.
boom.
That was fun. So yeah, final thoughts, or have you aired your grievances?
I'm in the fantasy championship this week. And I also kicked Tanner out of my league.
Let's not talk about that.
He was so bad that I kicked him out. I'm just kidding.
That's not what happened. I stopped playing, for the record, because I have real sports to worry about.
Come buy stuff at Comics and Kicks before the holidays.
Yeah.
What else do I have?
My dad shops here.
Yeah, we have kittens. We have,
We have kittens in the shop.
we have 3 kittens and a mama that needs adopted. Adopt them.
They're really adorable.
Adopt, don't shop. You
They're
know what I'm
very
saying?
adorable.
You hear?
Really well behaved. That's my life, guys.
That's
Beautiful.
Cats and toys.
Cats,
and shoes.
toys, shoes,
Star
comics,
Wars.
Hayden.
kicks, and cats.
comics, kicks, cats.
We should rebrand this place.
Dude, I mean,
Just put a pen full of cats.
I was
in it.
honestly, I'm gonna bring a couple of them down. If it, I really am.
They
Bring
might
this
pee
hair down.
everywhere.
I'll
Oh, they're
sneeze.
well behaved, man.
I'm gonna
Sneeze.
sneeze as soon as. Take
Yeah, that's it. That's my life, guys. Take it or leave it. You know.
it or leave it.
What final thoughts there, Tina? Want to wrap it up?
If you like the movie, great. If you don't like it, great. Just be nice to each other. Everyone has their opinions. I love the movie.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Merry
Happy
Christmas.
New Year. Be good to people. Don't be terrible.
Mhm.
It's pretty
Yeah,
easy.
give back. Stuff like that.
So yeah, from all of us Comics Kicks, have a happy holidays. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye!